Imagine a scientist who could make the laws of physics feel like magic, who explained the motion of particles with a hearty laugh and turned a chalkboard into a stage for performance. He was not only a Nobel Prize winner, but also a true storyteller of science. A brilliant physicist, a great teacher with a sharp sense of humor, and an explorer of boundless curiosity. In a world that often feels complicated and distant from understanding, his presence came to whisper one simple truth. If you can't explain it to the average person, you don't really understand it yourself. Richard Phillips Feynman was not merely a brilliant physicist. He was a symbol of boundless curiosity, a blazing passion for learning, and the courage to think differently. Behind his reputation as a Nobel laureate and a key figure in quantum physics, Feynman was also known as a charismatic teacher, a popular writer, a bongo player, a painter, and a code breaker during World War II. This is the complete story of the life and intellectual legacy of Richard Feynman, the eccentric scientist who made physics feel alive and delightful. Richard Feynman was born on May 11, 1918, in Queens, New York City, to a secular Jewish family. His father, Melville Feynman, was a clothing salesman and amateur scientist who strongly encouraged his son's curiosity. His mother, Lucille, was a witty and intelligent woman with a sharp sense of humor. This combination fostered a joyful environment for intellectual exploration. From an early age, Feynman showed exceptional talent in engineering and mathematics. He loved taking apart radios and fixing them, creating simple experimental devices at home, and even had a private laboratory in his room. He was known in his neighborhood as a boy genius. Feynman pursued his undergraduate studies at MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where he majored in physics. There, he demonstrated academic brilliance and creativity in solving complex physics problems. After graduating from MIT, Feynman continued his doctoral studies at Princeton University. It was there that he began working on profound topics such as quantum electrodynamics. At Princeton, he also met several great scientists including Albert Einstein, John von Neumann, and Robert Oppenheimer. In the early 1940s, Feynman was recruited to join the Manhattan Project, a secret U.S. effort to develop the atomic bomb during World War II. He worked at the Los Alamos National Laboratory alongside many of the era's leading scientists. There, Feynman was not only an important theoretical contributor, but also known for his quirky and entertaining personality. He enjoyed cracking his colleagues' safes just to expose security flaws and even learned how to pick combination locks. Although he understood the wartime importance of the project, Feynman later expressed regret over his role in the development of weapons of mass destruction. Early in his career, Feynman married his childhood sweetheart, Arlene Greenbaum, who suffered from tuberculosis and underwent long-term treatment. Despite knowing their time together would be short, Feynman remained devoted and married her. Arlene passed away in 1945, leaving Feynman in deep mourning. Although he later remarried twice and had 2 children, the memory of Arlene remained deeply embedded in him. A love letter he wrote to her after her death, discovered decades later, showed that Feynman was not only a great scientist, but also a deeply emotional and loving person. Feynman's greatest scientific contribution was in the field of quantum electrodynamics, QED, the theory describing how light and matter interact. Alongside Julian Schwinger and Shinichiro Tominaga, Feynman developed a revolutionary approach to understanding subatomic particle interactions. He introduced visual methods known as Feynman diagrams, an intuitive and systematic way of depicting quantum processes. For his contributions, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1965. More than his formal achievements, Feynman was instrumental in simplifying complex physics concepts to make them understandable for students and the general public. His lectures at Caltech were later compiled into the famed The Feynman Lectures on Physics, still widely used at universities around the world. Feynman had a distinctive personality. He rejected academic formalities and hierarchy. He preferred learning through real experimentation rather than following dogma. He cherished intellectual freedom and emphasized the importance of scientific skepticism. Outside the world of science, Feynman was a colorful character. He played the bongo drums, painted nude models, cracked secret codes, and explored bars in Brazil. He also loved solving logical puzzles and adventuring with ideas. He disliked awards or prestigious titles. When offered membership in the National Academy of Sciences, he declined, feeling that such organizations only made people feel more important than others. In 1986, Feynman was appointed to the commission investigating the Challenger space shuttle disaster, which killed 7 NASA astronauts. During the investigation, Feynman bravely and honestly revealed that the main cause was the failure of an O-ring at low temperatures, a problem that had been known but ignored by NASA management. Feynman's simple yet sharp demonstration, dipping the O-ring material into ice water during a press conference, became a symbol of his candid, science-first approach. He closed the commission's report with the now legendary words, "For a successful technology, reality must take precedence over public relations, for nature cannot be fooled." Feynman became popular not only for his scientific contributions, but also for his humorous and inspiring books. Among the most well-known are "Surely You're Joking, Mr. Feynman," "What Do You Care What Other People Think?" "The Pleasure of Finding Things Out," "6 Easy Pieces and 6 Not So Easy Pieces." These books contain anecdotes from his life, philosophical insights, and his unique approach to science and living. Richard Feynman died on February 15, 1988, due to cancer. In his final words, he reportedly said, "I'd hate to die twice. It's so boring." This line reflects his life filled with curiosity and vigor. Feynman is remembered not only as a great physicist, but also as an educator, writer, and free thinker who touched the lives of millions. He showed that learning doesn't have to be dull, that intellectual honesty matters more than fame, and that the joy of figuring things out is one of life's greatest pleasures. Richard Feynman reminds us that science is not just about equations and theories. It is about the beauty, excitement, and wonder of understanding the universe.